Welcome to another episode. Today we are going to be doing some more bar work. On these? Nah, on these. This car is owned by a young guy named Bradley. He hit me up a couple months ago actually now about doing front bash bar for him. This is his street car. He has a Sora that he's been learning to drift in. He's actually building an S14 now, so this is going to become his street car SR, pretty stock engine, which I'm telling him is the perfect way to keep this setup. Obviously he's got his big wheels and baller stuff. I'm pretty sure some of these were mine way back in the day. Anyway, I met him years and years and years ago. He actually did a project on me and the LS Silvia when he was in year 10. If I can get some footage off him, I'll put it in here.
Well, I'm pretty good at talking random shit, if that's what you want. I can do that all day long, mate.
I rode motorbikes and I was into mountain biking and all sorts of stuff, and I was getting pretty sick of hurting myself, and so I figured a roll cage or a car would take away that thing. But I think it was just a progression of myself, I suppose, a little bit. I just wanted to get into cars and start driving. It looked like fun, and so I thought I'm going to sell all my bikes and start that. My first proper drift car was a R32 Skyline, and I only just recently sold that before I built this car, but I've had a whole bunch of different cars in between that. The maintenance on these cars are a lot, and so a lot of late nights really. I have a couple free nights a week where I pretty much have to be working on the car, and it also pays to have friends that are keen to help out as well. Yeah, so outside of drifting, I'm actually a youth pastor, so I work for a church running all our youth ministries from kinder, so like real tiny little kids, up to high school age and even beyond that. I'm a qualified builder though, so I did a trade as a builder before I went into working for church. Been lucky enough to go to Japan with some of my friends drifting, and to New Zealand a couple times as well. My best memory would be a recent one, and that was at our last round of DCA that I competed in. I got to drive against Forrest Wang, who's one of my favourite drivers. I come up against him in a battle and I actually took away the win. So that was a pretty big deal for me, and it was a great memory of mine. So fast forward all these years later, he's into drifting, he's loving it, him and his mates, they're all about it, and his car is in my shed and we're doing some work to it. Alright, strip the front down. I didn't realise when he bought it here, the damn thing has bricks. Yeah, if you know anything about Silvias, you know that bricks are expensive. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I've worked out the centre here. I am going to basically bend up the bar right in front of this because I want it to be here. The factory Rio's way back here, so basically I can use this as a template to bend it in front. If it's sitting here, it's still going to be in the right space, and I know it needs to sit up about that high, so I can use that as basically a template. I found my tube, chop a bit to length, start bending. So I'm just going to do a 5-degree bend in the middle of this tube. Alright, so a little 5-degree bend in the centre. Got it pretty good. I'll do another one here, I reckon, and here, and then we'll do the final big radius down the bottom. Go. So first bend in the middle, second bend there, second bend there, and then we know we want to do a real nice radius in there. Coming together. Picked up the bump so I can sit it on there and get a good reference of how it will sit underneath. So pretty good. I think it's good to have a little bit of place, so it's not hard up, so it can still flex. So we'll put the band here and it'll come up to under here somewhere. I haven't filmed anymore, but it's almost, well, it's all bent, and I'm just working out now how to mount it all. I'll pull it out later, but I don't know if you can see in there. It's probably a bit too dark. Oh yeah, there you go. So you've got a little stay there. I think I'm going to use rectangle RHS to box this section out like on an angle from there up to the top of the bar. It's sitting right on top, going right out to the front, so it's super solid. It's actually coming together really well. So I'm gonna go to bed because I'm tired, and tomorrow we'll get back into it. Alright, day 2, and I haven't filmed anything, but we are smashing it out. So the bar is bent, got the supports I built them the same as the factory ones, slide in and then a bolt through there. And I'm using this RHS here to make these sort of end plates to go on like that and give it heaps of extra strength, and it'll make it look a lot nicer. So that side's cut, ready to weld in. I'm just starting on this one here. So that's it. You've got to obviously notch and cut it so it can slide all the way in. But she's coming along nicely. Alright, so she's welded out and back in. Got the bracket bits on it on both sides. Well, like braces, not brackets. Fits perfect. So I've let it cool down. We'll chuck the bar on and see. Well, hopefully it still works, but it should.